long time ago, and by that I mean a couple of weeks ago, there was peace within the Google Snake community. There were fun rivalries going on to see who could take the most world records, and it was every man for themselves. But then, on March 7th, two major alliances started forming. Two forces that would inevitably clash and change the landscape of snake speedrunning forever. This is the story about the Google Snake War. The day is the 7th of March. Diab, previously known as Daanbom, and also the person with the most world records at that point in time, and Play, known as the greatest snake runner in history, and the person with the third most world records at that moment in time, were talking about taking each other's world records. Something that became a bit of a regular occurrence ever since Hoover made SnakeStats website and the world record race began. But then something weird happened. Diab proposed an alliance with the Play, take everyone else's world records and become the undisputed numbers 1 and 2 on the leaderboards. Soon, Yarmy formally requested a.k.a. to join as well, and as a reaction to this new power alliance, Snippy decided to form one of his own, with Space Doge becoming his first partner in crime. So the alliances were forming, but they still missed good names, more members, and most importantly, a goal besides just taking world records from the other alliance. This is when Dark Mode Alliance and Burger Mode Alliance were born. Dark Mode Alliance wanted a dark theme for Snake, and Burger Mode Alliance wanted Burger Mode, which is Google Snake but with burgers. Both alliances started hastily recruiting more members to help their cause. Fibic, who was the person with the second most world records at the time and the prime target of the Dark Mode Alliance led by Play and Diab, obviously joined the Burger Mode Alliance, as well as Spence, another runner who already had a pre-existing alliance with a.k.a, who thus turned down Yarmy's proposal to join the Dark Mode Alliance. They didn't stay far behind though, recruiting Logoraider, Poisson and ZML right away. With both alliances shaping up, they were trying to get me to join them as well, and it was time for me to make a decision. And to be honest, the decision seemed easy at first. Diab was all up in my DMs, complimenting me and trying to get me to join him, and I already used Dark Mode for almost everything, so the idea of Dark Mode for Google Snake did sound interesting. However, there was just one problem. I still had to take back the world records Yarmy took from me, and Diab had loads of world records for me to take on my journey to 10%. So, after a long time, the Burger Alliance did convince me to join them. Not long after that, the alliances were completely formed, and the war had officially started. Diab and Fibic were going at each other like usual. I chipped in with a few world records here and there, and Super Ultra Jacob emerged as the MVP for the Burger Alliance, taking big world record after big world record to swing the world record count in the favor of the Burger Alliance. After a while, the war started to settle down a bit. Nobody was making big waves on the world record department, and it almost felt like a temporary ceasefire. However, the Burger Alliance was still working on its big plan, taking the most important, longest-standing world record, the classic 25 apples world record, held by Play. You had multiple top-class runners grinding for days to take this legendary world record, and it did get broken. But not by anyone in the Burger Alliance. Exotic Gostov, a relatively unknown runner, had been grinding a lot behind the scenes, putting in multiple hours a day, and he ended up beating the world record that no one had been able to beat for over a year, instantly cementing them as one of the best runners in Snake history. But they were neutral and didn't have anything to do with the war that looked like it was about to die. a.k.a. launched a final offensive, submitting all the world records he had saved up during the war to give a final blow to the Dark Mode Alliance. But at that point in time, it didn't matter to the Dark Mode Alliance anymore, because they had already reached their goal. The Dark Mode mod was officially released on the 14th of March. had gotten what they wanted, there was nothing left to fight for. And multiple players also had world records that they couldn't submit because they were held by members of their alliance, which meant that the war had to come to an end. Diab started peace negotiations, and on the 16th of March, the Burger Dark Peace Treaty was officially signed. Both sides agreed to leave the conflict with neither side claiming victory. And that brings us to the end of this video explaining the Google Snake War. If anyone ever asks about this, then you should just send them to this video explaining it all. I hope you enjoyed it, and goodbye.